William Randolph Hearst was a very wealthy man for his time. He was a magnate as far as in many industries, but particularly he was famous for building a castle. He invited guests from all over the world to this castle. I, as a reporter, was very interested in finding out if he did something besides be leisurely at his castle and entertain his guests and run his empire. So I went on a tour of Hearst Castle. I went to San Simeon, went on a standard tour, and I got lost on purpose. I started searching on the ground floor to find out if I could find anything that would give me an indication as to what might be a secret passion of his. As I was searching the ground, foot by foot, I found in an old English decoration a knob. Above the knob was the inscription, "This is not a door. Do not open." Seeing as how I was there to find out things, I turned the knob, went into the doorway, and I saw a spiral staircase leading down. So I took the staircase. I went down and found out that there was a hidden basement. I noticed right away that the hidden basement, there was a long table. And on this long table were beakers, flasks, Bunsen burners, and electrical equipment. I was in a laboratory. Next to this long table were 4 large glass-fronted cases. I noticed that there were people in these cases. On the wall, next to the last case, was a large switch. So I went over to the switch, and I moved the switch up, and it connected a circuit. All of a sudden, the room started humming. I could hear the circuits going. I could hear the humming. Within just a couple minutes, there was a glow coming from each of the cases. I went over to the first case and noticed that there was a latch on it. Inside the case was a man that looked very familiar. I undid the latch, opened it up, and Charlie Chaplin came out. Now, he was a frequent guest in the castle, so I thought that was kind of unusual. He looked pretty good. He came out, gave a big grin, and he mimed himself past me. But I could tell that he felt pretty comfortable with me. I went over to the second case. I opened the latch, and who would come out but Bob Hope. The first thing he did is he grabbed a newspaper, an LA Times, out of my pocket. He looked at it for a few seconds and said, "My goodness, LA has gotten so crowded, you could get a sunburn and have to go to Glendale to peel." I went to the third case and opened it up. Out of the third case came Groucho Marx. Groucho looked at me very interestingly, and I said to him, "You know, I recognize you from someplace." And he says, "I recognize you too. In fact, I never forget a face, but in your case, I'll make an exception." I went over to the fourth case, opened it up, and lo and behold, Winston Churchill was there. He ambled out because he was a big man. And it looked like he had been continuing to have a conversation with somebody, because he ambled out, took a shot glass, took a little sip, and in imaginary fashion, he looked right at me as if I was somebody else, and he said, "William, remember, old boy, never, never, never give up." And now, I had learned a lot about the secret passion of William Randolph Hearst. He was very interested in life extension. Here were 4 examples of people that he had put into suspended animation, and they were still alive. Now, he himself never went into suspended animation, but he left a legacy behind of people that will continue to amuse, entertain, and lead us. Mr. Toastmaster.